What up? What up? Not moved. It is the Flock crew here. I'm with my boy Bag. Bag, how you doing?
Uh, beautiful, beautiful. Football season's here officially. First preseason game. Got to watch the flock play. I'm loving it.
Yes, sir. Especially after a first win against the Colts, 24-16. Honestly, reflections off of this first preseason game for me, honestly, was I saw a lot of improvement in the defensive line. Honestly, it was a great thing seeing Mike Green out there. A lot of reps from Ajobu as well. Those two guys making a lot of great plays in the backfield, especially against Anthony Richardson, Daniel Jones. Really good, skillful quarterbacks, both talented and also have a lot of experience, especially on the field as well. So, any thoughts you want to add into that, Bag?
Yeah, the big play that David Ojobo when he sacked Anthony Richardson clean, and Anthony Richardson actually had a dislocated pinky on that play, unfortunately. But yeah, there's a lot of the young guys showed a lot of good signs. Um, I've been real high on David Ojobo for the last 2 years. Thought he was going to get a lot more reps and times that he did uh, last year, but he didn't. So I'm hoping he has an explosive year.
I agree, especially for him right now making these big plays like this starting in the season. You would hope, especially going into week 2, week 3, they might have him probably being more of like a starter in these preseason games as well, and then being potentially, if it keeps getting this chemistry with Mike Green, potentially be like a second string or a potential rotational player in that starting spot.
Yeah, especially with the second round pick, Mike Green, the steal of the draft. Seen a lot. I mean, we seen throughout training camp he was explosive, and we knew that already. But live action, he looked really good.
Oh yeah, especially, but the one thing that I would say that really like spiked also another problem to me, it's not really a big problem, but it's kind of a thing that really occurred a lot in the game, was also injuries that you recently mentioned. Not only was Anthony Richardson injured, but the hell Keon also got injured later after that play as well. And I saw a lot of those players; they were really down, especially players like Malachi Starks. He wasn't liking it. He was completely carted off the field with a knee injury, so it wasn't looking good. Honestly, they probably aren't going to see him play. So, I mean, honestly, who knows? Just blessings to him, honestly, man. Honestly, just blessings to the guy. That's all I can really say for him.
Yeah, especially when it's your first year in the league, you get in the first preseason game, and that type of stuff happens.
I mean, it's just one of those things where it's like that is what it is, you know. Like anything could really happen on the field. That's just kind of how football culture has always been, and it's kind of sad seeing, a young player like this get some gratified, huge, unique injury. So, will he come back? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. Was there anybody else that like stood out to you when you watched it?
I mean, I didn't really see a lot of Malachi. I saw him play, but I didn't really see a lot of big plays from him, if you know what I mean. But I did see him play. Offensively though, I did see Wester. Wester was one really big change for me, especially offensively. He, I think, is going to be a big special teams threat as a returner, especially if he keeps that explosive movement going off of the off of the pump return. Honestly, I think it would be a big change for us, especially with having a guy like him, because we haven't seen a guy like that since Jacoby Jones. I mean, that dude literally had just took off. I've never seen an explosive punt returner like that in years.
Yeah, he. I thought he was going to get caught when he cut back up to go to the middle. I thought somebody was going to like shoelace tackle him, but he started to break back out to the right side and got the stiff arm and was gone. Was gone. That was a good thing to see. But for me, two people that I really focused in and honed in, not the big name guys like Mike Green and Malachi Starks and stuff. Um, what was his name? Number 50 is a linebacker. Dave. I'm trying. I don't want to butcher it.
Wait, what did you say his name was?
I'm just gonna make sure I get it right. Pulling it up right this second.
No, you're good.
Adisa Isaac, number 50, the linebacker.
Okay, I've seen him. Yeah, I've seen him play on the field for a little bit. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
he was on there for a couple series, and like just on the screen, he popped. He was around the ball anytime they would run it. He was either shielding a block and helping, rally to the tackle, or he was
That
making
was
the
one
tackle.
thing. That was one thing I think I really liked about this preseason game was that the culture really stood out as far as defense this season, especially as far as rally tackle.
Right.
Like, not a lot of people really talk about this. Like when it comes to football, like rally tackling is very important. Like when you're going for a pursuit, especially like during those screen zone option plays, when you have 5, 6 guys swarmed around one guy, that makes a huge difference defensively going into a play. You know what I mean? Especially trying to make one and make a possible turnover happen. So it really definitely ties the odds when making things happen for your defense, and especially when it starts up front and in the linebacker level as well.
Yeah. Like rallying to the tackle is so important. Remember Tylen Wallace's touchdown on Cincinnati Bengals up the sideline last year?
I believe so. I believe so. I have heard of that. Yeah, I have seen that before. Yeah.
That is the epitome of not rallying to the tackle, right? You're just watching your teammate get to the guy and you're assuming that he's going to make the tackle, and
Mm-hmm.
you stop pursuing 100%. And then next
Right.
thing you know, he breaks it, or he does actually miss him, and then he's up the sideline and you can't recover because you relaxed for just 2 seconds.
Right. Yeah. Right. And especially going off of like players that we've seen a lot, especially like coming off of the depth chart. Who was the running back that played? Oh my god. Was it it was something Mitchell. I keep fucking up
Keaton
his foot.
Mitchell. Oh
Keaton
yes, that
Mitchell.
was beautiful to see.
Yeah, he was dude. Oh my gosh, bro. He was a ground and pound getting 3, 4, 5 yards. Like, look, here's the thing with me, right? I'm not I don't like some of these running backs that always like to go for the big play. Like, like how like Josh Jacobs and all that. They always try to be shifty, go inside, outside, go for the big play. Like dudes like Derrick Henry and this dude, bro, they'll just go and spam the same play over and over and over again. Inside zone, inside zone, inside zone, and get 3, 4, 5, 6 yards. Like that is what matters because then you're actually chewing out the clock. You're actually opening up plays for other players around the field, especially starting in a preseason. It was a really smart move, honestly, going into a run first heavy option, honestly.
Yeah, because you don't have the explosiveness with Lamar Jackson. He wasn't going to play. So it was more traditional football for the Ravens. It was like how we played with Joe Flacco, right? Ground game, play action, take a deep shot every now and then. So
Right. Um so right now when it comes to this next week, who do we face in the next preseason? Cuz I know the first week game is going to be the Buffalo Bills, but I haven't really looked into the next two preseason games.
I can hold it up.
Cowboys and Commanders. That's what they are. Yes, Cowboys and Commanders. I remember now. Though I feel like going to this next week, honestly, with having the beating the Colts this well, my biggest thing is just keep doing what they're doing defensively. Honestly, you gotta keep putting pressure. Biggest thing is keep putting the pressure on the quarterback. You know what I mean? That's my biggest thing, especially like me as a player as well. When you're putting pressure on the quarterback, it definitely closes a lot of options leading into running and also what to do moving forward with your offensive line.
Yeah,
So that I would feel like is another great emphasis they definitely should focus on next week, keeping that forward as far as the defensive pressure, but also getting more of the pass plays going. I noticed that that was one struggle we really had. I know he's a third stringer. I forgot his first name, but I know it's like Levy or something like that.
yeah.
What?
It's Devin Leary, Devin Leary. Yeah,
Okay. But yeah, he was okay, but I feel like he didn't really provide a lot of the really basic options. I feel like he was disciplined, he was very adequate, he stood in the pocket very well. Didn't really do anything largely crazy besides like what was it, one interception?
yeah. He had a pick.
I mean, he had
Both of
one.
them, Cooper Rush and Leary had a pick,
Yeah,
and neither
but
one of them scored touchdowns. It was I mean, passing. I was just not impressed, but I
I
knew
was
what
not impressed at all overall.
I
Yeah,
knew what we were going to get though. Yeah, I mean, it's
right.
this is the only thing I'm not understanding why Eric DaCosta went that route. Like I would have rather Josh Johnson, even though he's been on 18 different teams throughout the NFL and the CFL. I don't like traditional quarterbacks being as a backup to an athletic dual threat.
Yeah,
It
I
makes
agree.
you have to change your whole
Offense,
scheme. Yeah,
literally.
yeah. I
Yeah.
don't like that.
I don't either. Especially when you're talking about guys like Cooper Rush and fucking Levy, it's not really as adequate as a guy like Lamar Jackson. It's not on the same level like at all, especially when it comes to style nor functionality at whatsoever. So I
Mhm.
agree. I see what you're getting at as well. But
Like the
another,
perfect backup that I wanted, Eric DaCosta. I didn't care what he had to go out and. I mean, he was a 6th round draft pick, so you didn't have to spend a lot. But Joe Milton that went to Dallas, I think
yeah.
he should have went out and got
That's
him
why
as a backup.
honestly I think what should do for this next week is have Isaiah Likely play.
You can't.
I know that sounds crazy, but just have him in for like a good like half.
You can't. He broke his foot
When did you do that?
a couple of days ago.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, you missed that one. You missed that
Dang.
one. Yeah,
Wow.
it's just a slight fracture, but it does take like 6 weeks to heal all the way up. So
Okay. Okay. That's not bad. So it was like just a partial fracture.
yeah,
Okay. I actually know that. Dang.
what day was that?
Hats off to that guy.
I think that was Monday. Yeah, I
Okay.
think it happened in the beginning of the week.
That makes sense then. Okay, yeah. Because I was busy that day. Okay. So I mean honestly then other than that, I mean honestly it's just about really just getting the ball down the field. That's really just it then. Because when you're talking about trying to give these guys a chance and get a position, especially wide receivers, and now you have these quarterbacks struggling, it's not really great on how to elaborate on who do we keep, who do we leave out, what do we change? You know what I'm saying? It's a stump. You know what I mean? That's where I kind of feel like the passing game is at right now when it comes to the whole offense. It's a little stuck, just a little bit. But I feel like we can get it unstuck by the end of the preseason. Honestly, I feel like we will. I don't feel like it's a major unstuck because you got to remember these are third, second string quarterbacks. It's not like it's Lamar Jackson.
Exactly. I'm gonna say as soon as the ones get out there in the real season games, I'm not worried about the offense. The offense will pick up right where it left off last year with Derrick Henry.
Exactly. This is just an idea of what the playbook is going to look like. So we just got to keep that in mind as well. Like this is just a small image of what the playbook is going to look like for next year. Did I feel like the run game scheme looked great? Yeah, I think it looked really good. Though I feel like the passing definitely needs to do very much better, especially when it comes to both protection and also communication on the offensive line and quarterback.
Yeah. Falele, the right guard.
Mm-hmm.
I was so pissed off at him last night.
Did Emory Jones play? I didn't see him.
No, he's got to show it. they drafted him injured. They knew he was gonna.
Okay, so
Yeah,
he's still on. Okay, okay. I didn't know he was or wasn't.
yeah. So they let him go under surgery right after the draft just to clean something up. Um,
Okay.
yeah, so he's rehabbing for that.
Because I know they
Hopefully,
said he was going to come back by season or something like that. They said something around like he was going to come back soon this year, but I didn't know exactly when.
yeah. But yeah, for Lele, the right guard, bro, he gave up a bull rush and got pancaked to a guy that weighs 100 pounds less than him, bro.
I mean, that's just kind of one of those things where it just happens, man. I mean, when you're talking about, defense, you got to worry about leverage as well. And that's worrying about how to stay grounded. And what I mean by staying grounded, especially on a pass protect, is, being sure you're in base and staying square. If he's letting him move him like that, he probably doesn't have the balance well to provide the way to actually protect his quarterback properly and get the right leverage and angles, which he will probably have to improve on.
Right. It's just definitely, I just don't like Lele. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah, and that just goes all about being able to be mobile, being able to shift around.
Yeah, he's not quick on his feet.
Exactly, exactly. And that's what it really boils down to as an offensive lineman. Even in defensive lineman too, especially. Defensive lineman, it's way more explosive. Because then you also got to worry about inside movement, outside movement. It's kind of a two-way go in some situations. So, in all cases, in some of those plays, it just happens. It honestly, it happens. You're gonna see a lot of those plays.
Wanted to ask you, did you see what's the guy's name? Deonis Johnson? So he was the one that was getting the bulk of the carries in the run game.
I actually did not. I
He
actually did not see
went
him.
he went 18 carries, 57 yards, and the longest was 11 yards. So he took a lot of the
That was probably
snaps.
towards the end of the game, right? Like fourth quarter.
Yeah, but both quarterbacks threw an interception, no touchdown. They did not like that.
Yeah,
But
okay. Yeah, that's why I didn't see the fourth quarter. I probably watched honestly up to about the third, because then that's when I was like, okay, yeah, we're blowing these guys out. We're blowing these
yeah,
guys in
essentially after the Webster,
the water.
yeah,
They're not.
yeah, essentially after the LeJohntay Webster touchdown return on the kick return.
That was crazy. That was absolutely that shit blew my mind. I was like, I've never seen somebody do that ever, especially just ever preseason.
Yeah, so I'm definitely excited to get the season started. John Harbaugh and Eric DeCosta and Todd Monken, they had their hands cut out. There's a lot of good guys, but at the end of the day, you can only take 53 with you.
Yeah, and it's actually funny too now looking at it because I actually looked at this article not too long ago, like a couple hours like after the game. I'm pretty sure he actually predicted he was gonna take that punt return to the house.
Oh shit! Dang.
Yeah, he actually predicted that. So I mean, he was. Hey, I'm like, if you got that kind of bag, like you say you do,
Talk your stuff.
I
Yeah.
need to see another one. I need to see another one. I need to see another one. I'm saying it. I need to see another one.
Yeah. Like you said,
Uh,
got a little bit. Not gonna say too much, but a little Jacoby Jones S5 going on. You know what I mean?
yeah, definitely a little bit of
So,
a Jacoby Jones vibe. That is definitely something that he would say for sure. Definitely something he would say. And I like it. I like the culture coming around. You're starting to build the pieces. We're starting to find what's valuable, what's good, what's bad. So honestly, all in all, I think it's good. I think honestly, this preseason game meant a lot moving forward. It really did, both offensively and defensively, because obviously it does see that offensively the playbook's a little but defensively we played phenomenally, absolutely phenomenal. I don't think I've ever seen a young group of guys defensively just absolutely dominate like that just coming out of football. It it was amazing. It was like seeing the starters literally play the game.
Damn near. Yeah. Because I mean, like I said, the reason why it was a good sign is because the the struggles in the beginning of the year with Zach Orr being the first year defensive coordinator, it
Mhm,
showed. We were 32nd in pass defense all the way until week 11, going into week 12, right? So
mm.
it's great to see that he can get a bunch of young guys and have this scheme and so tight that it's airproof, basically.
Actually, speaking of which, I forgot to mention this to you. You called it about the Simpson prediction.
Oh,
You
Trenton
called
Simpson?
Yep.
Yep,
I
yep.
did I did see him play. I forgot you did mention that the last episode. You definitely called that prediction spot on.
Because he did an interview and because he got benched, I forget what game it was. He gave up a huge play. It shifted the momentum of the game. And Zach Orr just benched him and took him out the rotation, stopped giving him PT. And then later in the year, you could see that, he had his confidence back because he did an interview and he said, like, that was the first time I ever got benched and taken out the rotation my whole football career. And,
Right.
he said it messed with his head for a second, but he got back in the lab, got his shit right. And
And
yeah,
sometimes you need that, man. Sometimes you need that, especially as a player. Sometimes, you know, and that's what sometimes these coaches try to tell some of these players, especially like even I've heard some of these coaches say sometimes they do that not to hurt you, but to benefit you and teach you as a lesson. Like, hey, go work on your craft more and then come back. That's all it is. There's
yeah.
nothing wrong with saying that your player needs to improve more. You know what I'm saying? Coaches are there to motivate you into doing more and getting more out of you. That's what the sport's all about, regardless if it's football, basketball, baseball. That is a basic fundamental going into the sport is understanding how to be coachable, but being also able to overcome and improve.
And it's not what you say, it's how you say it, right? It's all how you implement it.
Exactly.
Because,
Exactly.
at the end of the day, being humble, is not a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? Because you can always be too overzealous about yourself, and then that can endanger you, right?
Correct.
I agree. I can't wait to
So,
see the starters though. But what do you think about the Colts? Like, did you see anybody from there? That,
I mean, I saw a few people. I didn't really know specifically as far as names. I do know one guy in particular. His number was 16, I think. He was a wide receiver.
oh,
Kind of,
13, probably Laquan Treadwell.
yes. There
Yeah,
you
yeah,
go.
that's what I mean. Because that's who I noticed the most of the day.
Yes.
Yeah.
He played pretty well. He played very, very well. He had a lot of good skills, decent footwork. Kind of reminds me of like a Josh Downs. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
Very
I can see
shifty,
that.
pretty quick. You know what I mean? Not too much in the deep ball, but he's got some good medium route bag.
Well, we knew their tight end today, so Tyler Warren. They threw him three passes. He caught all three of them at 40 yards. 23 was the longest.
Hey man,
13.3 average. Yeah, that's pretty good.
consistency matters. They need a guy like that, man. The last time the Colts had a great tight end, at least consistent, his volume like that was Dallas Clark.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, like shit.
Especially a
Honestly,
guy
it's
with a household
doing
name,
stuff
anyway.
like this now for these rookies. Not saying they'll be future Hall of Famers, but it will lead more into them becoming Pro Bowlers, futurely, hopefully. But who am I to tell?
Yeah, but Keaton Mitchell, that was beautiful to see. He's fully healthy. He's back to being explosive. He had what 9 carries, 68 yards. Longest was a 23, and he had a
My
touchdown.
biggest thing probably next week too. Another thing, my biggest thing next week too, to also see a little bit of Justice Hill. I haven't really seen a little bit of him. I know it's kind of a stretch maybe putting him on the field because he's more of a receiving option, but we haven't really done a lot of those in the past too. So I feel like maybe adding that additionally could maybe hold up some.
Okay, I mean, I think he's solidified. I mean, he's already got the bag, so he wasn't going to play a lot of preseason. You know,
But no, I'm
um,
not saying a lot of preseason. I'm saying like just a half. Like put him in for like the first half or something. Like give Justice Hill one half, K Mitchell another.
I mean,
I'd be,
they'll probably get a lot of the carries when it comes down to the third preseason game, the last preseason game.
but you get what I'm saying though. Like if you really want to just like improve in your passing game and move forward, especially for these young quarterbacks who aren't really developing well in the passing game, it's really much better to get most of these check down options more thoroughly and more consistent. Because then if you don't get those check downs, how are you going to go in and throw 30, 40 yards down?
Yeah, that's the problem. It
That's
can't.
my thing with it. So that's what I'm trying. I'm just sitting here and I'm thinking like, what can you do at that point? That's kind of my whole question, I guess you could say there. What do you think?
I mean, I don't disagree because Devin Leary had a 7.3 passer rating and Cooper Rush had a 20.8 passer rating. That's not going to suffice. And I understand your backups, but you're the just in case, break glass. If Lamar Jackson gets hurt, we need to know that you can go out there and be able to still move the ball down the goddamn field.
Yeah,
And this ties back to why I don't understand why Eric DeCosta went and got a traditional pocket passing quarterback as your backup.
yeah, I definitely agree. I definitely agree, especially when it comes to having a guy like Lamar Jackson starting and him being a dual threat quarterback. You would think they would keep a guy like Tyler Huntley, who was adequate enough to be similar like Lamar and still keep that offense in a nice surfaceable level. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So it's a very big difference. So I definitely agree with what you're saying because then when you have a guy like Cooper Rush and DB, then you're having to develop much more of a passing option first instead of more improvised or getting a 10-yard scramble or throwing a nice 5 yard outside the pocket. So,
yeah. The RPO goes out the window with Cooper Rush.
oh, for
There,
sure.
you know, that's a wrap. So now you're back to your standard, ground and pound, uh, down the field, play action type offense, and yeah, I mean that's cool, but we already see that the reason why the Ravens offense is so explosive is because you got 8 in the pocket.
Right, exactly.
He's like with the Tom Brady. He said he's the equalizer. You can do everything right. Doesn't matter. You can do every guy on defense can beat their man, get home, and then next thing you know, Lamar Jackson is just gone.
Yeah. But no, honestly, next week, those are kind of like the biggest 3 points for me there is just hoping the defense can keep moving forward with this, man, honestly. Run game has been great. Pass game, gotta improve. Gotta improve. Like, that's all there's next week is just really those three things. That's all I'm looking forward to seeing is what are you gonna do now moving forward with this being your
Yeah.
this is your defense. Now what are you gonna do moving forward from there? Now,
He
with
gonna
that
back.
being said, now we're facing the Cowboys. Now, I know the Cowboys didn't really draft a lot, but I know they have a few additions as far as both offensive line and then also a little small pieces on defense. But who do you think is going to be a key eye opener probably for Dallas looking
Oh, I've already said his name twice today in this episode. Joe Milton. If I want to see how our defense is going to stack up to mobile quarterback, right? That can get out, elude, throw the ball deep down the field. Because he's got a cannon on his arm. He can put the ball down the field for sure. Uh, he's got a lot better, you know, being he sat all last year behind Drake May and learned how to be a professional quarterback. And I like what I see, so I'm going to keep my eye out on him. Hopefully we can shut him down, though.
I agree, honestly. And another guy too, I don't know if he is gonna play, but I hope to see him maybe as well. Um, Tyler, oh my God, the guy from fucking Georgia? Oh my fuck, excuse my French. Tyler, is it Tyler Booker or Tyler?
So I'm looking it
I
up
know he's
here.
a guard. Chat, help me out. What's his last name?
I'm looking at that right now. They drafted him, right?
Yeah, they did. They
This year.
drafted him. I know his first name's Tyler. I forgot how to say his last name.
Pulling up their draft list right now just to make sure we get Tyler Booker. You're right.
Tyler Booker. Okay.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, no, him.
Checking it.
He's a lot of people though have been telling me he's gonna be an absolute monster.
Okay.
So if he plays, I'm hoping to see him, and that's gonna be a crazy matchup, bro. On the D line, it's gonna be a nice little matchup to see, man. Honestly, I'm excited. I believe the next game is gonna be on the 16th of August. We got 8 days to prepare for it, which is very good. That's a lot of time, honestly, especially when you're talking about trying to move the ball down the field, worrying about passing cues, small things like that. These are very small things that they got to fix that I feel like they can very much definitely improve on next week. So I don't feel like it's enough to where it's hindering. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah. So,
I feel like all the things that we have seen right now is kind of what has already been expected to, especially going to a preseason game. Now, my only question is going to be for the defense. Are they going to keep this chemistry in line, or is there going to be some mishaps when you're dealing with more skillful quarterbacks going down the line?
right. Right. At the
So,
end of the day, if I think they can. For a second. But yeah, my bad.
no, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, I think they can. They might have him, like you said, a misstep or two. But as long it's not the starters, it's not Roquan, it's not Kyle Hamilton. If we were seeing that from those guys, I'd have a concern. But I'm good. I think Zach Orr, he's got the hold of being an actual competent DC. I'm looking forward to how our real defense is going to look. I think they're going to look pretty good.
I agree with you. This is not moved. We'll be signing off here. We will be posting this on YouTube. We got Twitch, Kick, Spotify, Apple Music. We got it all, man. We got you guys next week, right after the Cowboys game. God bless you guys, and you guys have a good one.
See you, big thing is. I'll let you big go.
Yes, sir. God bless.